Okay, so we have torrential rain here outside the place, and strangely enough, just before I turned the record button on the mobile, yeah, we have patrol cars going up and down a small dead-end street on a quiet day, and the phone's ringing too, when it's torrential rain. Like basically there's only a few houses here, and they're just patrolling up and down. See how this one will double back? See how it's a patrol car? So it comes down, all the way down from the main street, because they have to even turn around a park. There's a big park at the end of things, so they just patrol up and down. And the planes going in the torrential rain too. See, over the roof. Oh, I can't show that because I'm getting wet, but it's over the roof. And I can't put out videos at the moment either because they've stopped the mobile from being able to download. But I'll just record this, and that's about it. But up and down, and one patrol car actually went up the side of the place and then doubled back out, which is strange. Well, not strange, not for a patrol car, but normally they do everything to where it's real, or at least to where it will be, you know, someone that lives there. But they can't go down the back because they've got all that construction. This is also designed, all this rain of course is sent by the powers that be to hold up the construction so that the noisy construction that goes on day after day can be extended even longer. That's why the work programs, they say, take a few months, take 6 months or a year. Everything is slowed up, so that way they have to redo everything. That way they can keep the sound program going around me, which is detrimental to your frequency and vibration. And that's really what it's all about, in a way, at a basic kind of level. Now there's planes going over, hear them, but I can't show them. There's another patrol car on a small dead-end street, so they can't go through here. So they actually, if they don't live here, they just patrol, because then they go up and down. Because if you go all the way down a small dead-end street for no reason, and then you just double back, which is what they've been doing for the last half an hour before, because actually I was trying to make contact on the phone, but the phones have gone dead because of all this excessive rain. The internet all washed out. That's all designed to, everything is designed to control your timeline or your movements. If they don't want you to go out at a particular time, they send the rain down like this. See how this is another patrol car? See how it went down to the end and now it's just going to double back. No normal car would do that. No normal driver would go down a completely useless street where they don't live, because they're not stopping, just waste their time. But see, they're not wasting their time because they're patrol cars. They're not cars. Any of the vehicles that go past me, everywhere I go, everything from big lorries to every single bus, is all a control program, all part of a human mind control program. And you know this when you realise that they're doubling around and just surrounding you. You know, when you see them coming in and out of every street around you, to where you are literally trapped by this vehicle program. And even on a small dead-end street where I live, they patrol up and down in a flow, to where you're always aware of their presence, because they know, look, there's torrential rain, like I actually can't get out and the internet is all dead, you know, where I can't contact or ring out, because of all this rain. And it was actually much worse before, but it's going to keep going, they reckoned, which is unusual. Normally they can't keep the rain up for a long time. But don't forget, if you have vast numbers, you have vast numbers and army planes, you know, even low, that's funny, that single human beings, because they have positive frequency and vibration, or that potential, it shows that they need many 100,000 against one to suppress your energy. That's how powerful positive, happy, love vibration is in comparison to the dead, dark, mechanical, technical android vibrations. But when they do have vast numbers, which they do have, they can send the rain, they can infiltrate your mind because they have used technology to their transhuman connection to the human brain. So basically, that's how they do it. So they control your frequency and vibration by connecting me to the androids around in the many 100,000s, and therefore they can swarm around me. And the jet going in front of my line of sight there's a few birds on the thing there, but they're only small little baby birds on the line. Birds don't worry about the rain, strangely enough, because they have feathers to protect them. That's their little raincoat. Humans, on the other hand, I wouldn't even mind that, but the footpaths are so bad that my feet get wet through with the shoes because the shoes are not strong enough, see how, like, they will just get wet through, so it's actually quite cold and wet. So therefore, at my age, that will be very uncomfortable, and therefore my frequency vibration will be kept low because I'll be uncomfortable and unhappy in all this dreadful wet. Because the footpaths are designed by the powers that be, and they continually are ripping up the footpaths all over Leichhardt wherever I go, continually laying down new concrete, which keeps the water on the concrete. I've noticed this because I've lived around here for 20 odd years, actually closer to 30, and before they started playing with the actual pavement, you could walk in the rain and the rain drained off the footpath so you didn't get wet feet, but now you do, because they make it so that the footpath is uneven and keeps the water everywhere I go. And I only know this because when it rains I always get wet feet, and if it rains continuously like it is here, and so they're stopping me from getting down the road, because I was trying to get down the road before dark, and there's a man over there, a patroller, coming out of that house over there, and he's got absolutely nothing on. Like he's coming out into the rain with no raincoat. No, actually he's getting into a car. See, they all have the vehicles. See how there's all these cars around me here on this street? And that's the same all over Leichhardt. There's cars parked every single place you go because everyone can get into them, and I'm getting wet here so I can't film that jet going over. And another patrol car coming onto the street, patrolling past me in this weather, and one pulling out in the place that's where my mobile is focused. But unfortunately there's so many cars parked that you can't even see it pulling out, but my eyes can see it, so I'm well aware of their presence. And there's another one coming out of the house, but basically they're all possessed patrollers. They're dead, dark energy human beings, or the equivalent of psychopaths, if you want to put it in a psychological terminology, shall we say. See how this patrol car is double back round? Are you watching these patrol cars? Because I'm filming them, but I don't know whether you can see that that's the same car that went down once again, coming all the way down a small dead-end street for no reason, just to patrol and then turn around at the end and double back in this wet conditions, because it's actually very wet. So why would you be driving around a particular individual human for no reason? Like, here's another patrol car coming up that pulled out of one of the houses. Because all these houses are all allowed access by these android beings. And I know this because over the last 7 years I have seen the androids come out of every single building in the suburb of Leichhardt, every single house, without exception, on the routes where I walk. And that tells me, and every single car parked, like, lined up everywhere, vehicles everywhere. They have access because it's the end time, unfortunately, and it's the end game for human beings too, because essentially another patrol car, essentially. They have access to everything, and they always have, or for a long time. It's just that they don't show you this until you become aware of them. While you're in the dark, and they can play psychological games on you, and you blame yourself, your mental conditions, your environment, your obsessions, your addictions, and your environmental stresses that they put around you, usually in personal interactions. But once the personal interactions fail, where you wake up that you've been dealing with psychopathic, malignant, narcissistic beings, then they bring on the true reality. They show you that they are a different species. They outnumber humanity by many, many numbers, and that in most areas where human beings are, they literally not are just the majority, they are much more than the majority. And in some situations you feel as though you're the only human being in the entire suburb. And it could even be a possibility, because it is the name of the game to completely isolate and segregate human beings from their own kind, so you don't have any strong frequency and vibration. Because while you're surrounded by them and only interacting by their patrol car force, even on this small dead-end street, watch this vehicle go down, another patrol car. I hope I'm still recording here. Watch it double back and come back round. Are you seeing a total android patrol traffic car force on a small dead-end street? Why would vehicles go down a small dead-end street and then double back over and over again? It's like a policing patrol car, except there, look at this. That vehicle hid around the corner and now has come out because you can't go down there. So it's literally a patrol vehicle that was waiting, that had parked down there and pulled out of the side of where I live. There's another patrol vehicle, the same one that went down. Are you seeing that it is just wasting petrol and time, stalking and patrolling and surveilling me? And what am I doing? I'm just waiting for the rain to stop, which I'm told it's not going to stop. To try to get down the road just a few blocks down. They actually don't want me to even be able to do basic things, and that's because they want to keep me isolated and away from any contact, especially with human beings. They don't mind you talking to their kind, but even talking to their kind, they don't like the positive vibration. If you pretend to be happy, which you do, maybe even pretend happiness from a human being, in other words, where you'll pretend to be okay, still infuriates them, still seems to, as they say, irritate their negative android nature, or irritate their demons, as many have described it. I'm just going to film the birds in the rain. I can't believe that these birds are in the rain. The poor birds. Of course, they are part of this control thing in a way, but here comes a jet over my head in the rain. Over my head in the rain. A lot of the birds are on the thing, and of course this bugs them too, because although it's very depressive, little birds. Where did all these little birds come from? I was looking at little birds yesterday. Another patrol car coming past. See how it will double back around and just patrol. This is very intimidating, very frightening, but I'm not really used to it, but I have to pretend that I am, and I have to pretend that I'm a human that's at a connection to your true creation, not connected to their internet and to their computer system, but actually I'm connected to both, unfortunately. See how that's a patrol car? See how it went down, same vehicle, you can see it for yourself. Another patrol vehicle coming past onto a small dead-end street in torrential rain, and you know, the birds are pretending that it's a natural world. Why are there so many little birds? Where are the little birds come from? I noticed little birds yesterday and I thought they were cute down the road, because I never get little birds actually out here. Maybe they've come from down the road all the way down to number 3, 34 to 36 Henry Street, Leichhardt, in the city of Sydney in the country of Australia, to give me some support. Patrol car doubling back on the small dead-end street, patrolling and stalking and surveilling and trying to keep me surrounded and suppressed. And it's all about that, and they're very successful at it. Oh, poor little birds. Oh, you're all drenched through. Another patrol car speeding down a small dead-end street to patrol. Oh, come on, little birdies. Oh, you're all drenched through. Oh, you're all drenched through. Oh, they're all drenched. Even the birds are drenched through, which is unusual. Why they come here? Oh, come on, little birdie. Hello. You're drenched through. You're telling me that I'm going to be drenched through if I go out in this, because actually I am. The patrol car is doubled back. Watch it go past. They usually slow up slightly as they go past to let you know. They stalk everywhere all over Leichhardt. They pull up in the most obscure, difficult, dangerous spots with their headlights on in your eyes so that you are aware of their presence. They're so afraid of you being a happy, normal human being. They can't stand humanity, these android, anti-life, anti-human, dead, dark beings that look like real humans, that pretend to be real humans, and no one can tell the difference. Even I can be deceived by them. I look for it, but I can still be deceived. My mobile's getting wet through here. Where do all these little birds come from? And they're wet through. They said we're only little, but of course, if only humans were like that, combined and supporting one another. But you can't even find a real human. They deliberately suppress you and keep you from one. If I was on the street and there was another human being, say on, you know, this street even, or any street where I go, they would set up conditions to stop me from speaking to that human. That's how they do it, because they know your every movement. They have the transhuman connection to your mind or your brain, and basically because of that they can hear and see everything you're doing. So any possibility of any positive frequency and vibration, or you being a happy human, is infiltrated by their android workforce or their android patrol force in the area where you are. So that if you were going to talk to a real human, they would send an android or some circumstances to prevent that interaction. I'm gonna finish up here.